Welcome back to JForrest English. I'm Jennifer, and today we're going to read an intermediate article, a B1 article together, so you can learn advanced vocabulary, expressions, grammar to help you move up to that more advanced C1 level. Let's get started. First, I'll read the headline. A 12-year-old girl from Ottawa is making history as Canada's youngest ever university graduate. This is an inspiring story about this young lady. Now, Ottawa is Canada's capital city, Ottawa, and she is the youngest ever university graduate. Notice here how they added ever. Here, ever is simply used to emphasize because you could get rid of it and say she's making history as Canada's youngest university graduate. When you add ever, it really just emphasizes it. Youngest ever university graduate. Another example, she was the first woman ever to win a prize. Again, without ever, the sentence still makes sense. She was the first woman to win a prize, the first woman ever to win a prize. So you can add that to emphasize. And notice here, a 12-year-old. You may notice that there is no S on year because this is functioning as an adjective. And adjectives don't have a singular or plural form, and that's why. If you're stating her age, you need to add the S. You would say she is 12 years old. So you absolutely need to add that S on years when you're stating someone's age, but here it's being used as an adjective to describe what type of girl she is. A girl from Ottawa, a 12-year-old girl. It gives more information to our noun. Let's continue. And this is the adorable, genius 12-year-old girl. Athea Grace Patricia Dennis, that's her name. Athea Grace Patricia Dennis is not your typical 12-year-old. Again, this is an adjective, so there is no S. She's not your typical 12-year-old. She's a child prodigy who's about to become the youngest Canadian to ever graduate from university. Again, you could say to graduate from university, but here ever to emphasize. Ever graduate from university with a bachelor's degree in biomedical science. So this is her degree, biomedical science. And notice you have a degree in something, degree in biomedical science. If you're listing the subject, you might say, I have a Bachelor of Arts. This is the title of it, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. But they're being more specific. They're listing the field here, biomedical science. She doesn't have a Bachelor of biomedical science. She has a Bachelor of Science, but then biomedical science is her field. So you can use in when you state more information. This is the category science, but then this is the specific field within science. So in biomedical science. Let's continue. She started the program when she was 9. Here, this is not an adjective. She was 9. But if you were to write this, you can say she was 9 years old because there are two correct ways in English to say age. You can simply say she was 9. This is correct. She was 9 years old. This is correct. How about this? She was 9 years. Is this an option? What do you think? This is not correct. So I'm going to put a frowny face. This is not correct because you can't end on years. You have to add old if you want to use years, or you can drop both and just end on the number. So she was 9 years with an S, she was 9, and those are your only two options. This is not an option. So I'll put an X beside it as well. So you know, this is not an option. She started the program when she was 9 or 9 years old, at a time when most of her peers were playing games at recess. Let's look at peers. This is a noun. Right now you can see it is in plural form, peers. Her peers are people who are her same age, people who are in the same school as her, for a typical 9-year-old. So her peers are not university students, because that is not typical, the group of people a 9-year-old would typically interact with. So your peers are a group of people who you would typically interact with either in a social context, a family context, or a business context as well. You can have one peer and it can be singular, or you can have peers with an S, which represents a group. As an example, a parent might say, are you inviting your peers to your party? Maybe it's your birthday party. And then a typical 9-year-old, her peers would be the other students in her class, or maybe her friends from her dance club or from her soccer club, a group that she belongs to. So you can say peers. You could also say classmates to your party, because in this case, a 9-year-old's classmates are her peers. It's the group of people she would normally interact with. And recess. Recess is a break you get in between classes, and generally during recess you go outside and you're physical, you play, you run around and you play. It is a kid's favorite part of the day is recess. So you might have your classes in the morning, you have math, science, geography, and then you get a 15-minute recess or a break, and then you get to go outside and play. So for kids in school, they call it recess. For adults in the workplace, we generally call it a break. We don't use the term recess. So this is a break for kids. A break for kids in school during the school day. A break for kids in school during the school day. Favorite part of the day, recess. Let's continue. Being a preteen in an intensive university program has come with a unique set of challenges. Okay, a preteen. Do you know who they're describing? A preteen. Well, they're describing her because she graduated or is going to graduate at 12 years old. A teenager, teen is when you become 13, okay? So 13 to 19, you're a teenager, because your age ends in teen, 13, 14, 19. So preteen is right before you become a teenager. So when you're 12, you're a preteen. You're almost a teenager. So most likely it would be 11 to 12 years old. 11 to 12. You're a preteen. And then once you hit 13, you're not a preteen, you're a teenager. So being a preteen and in an intensive university program has come with a unique set of challenges. Patricia Dennis has dealt with preconceived notions. Preconceived means that it was conceived, formed too early. Too early because there wasn't enough thought or knowledge to form your opinion or your idea. So the notion here, a preconceived notion, in this case, this is an expression, a preconceived notion, and notion represents an idea or an opinion that was formed too early. So you didn't take enough time, you didn't have enough knowledge, you didn't do enough research to form that opinion. So notion represents idea or opinion. So this young lady, this 12-year-old, this preteen in university is dealing with a lot of people who have preconceived notions. So you can imagine if you were 20, 22, and you were walking down the hallway and you saw a 12-year-old in a university, most likely you instantly have an opinion about that, because you didn't take enough time to think about it or really consider it. So that might be your preconceived notion. And expectations from others about how she is going to look, talk, and act based on her age. Now, this is something that non-native speakers have to deal with a lot. Other people having preconceived notions about their skills or abilities simply because they might have an accent or they might make a grammar mistake, right? Let's continue. My advice, this is coming from Patricia Dennis, the young lady. My advice for people who are also young, gifted, smart, talented, don't let other people's expectations bring you down. When something brings you down, it's bringing down your emotions. So it's taking you from positive emotions to more negative emotions. And in this case, the something is other people's expectations. So Patricia Dennis is excited to be in school. She's happy, so she has positive emotion. But then she has to deal with these expectations and preconceived notions from her peers who really aren't her peers because they're 22 and she's 12, right? But they are her peers because they're in the same class. But it's a different situation. And that is bringing her down. So taking her from excited and happy to not as happy. So this happens a lot. When something brings you down, you might say, don't let that grammar mistake bring you down. So you might be really enthusiastic about studying English, feeling really good about your English level, and then you make a grammar mistake and your enthusiasm or your positive feelings go down. Or you're trying to have a conversation with someone and you're really excited and they say, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. And that comment brings you down. Or you're watching a movie and you were feeling really happy, but then the movie was sad and the movie brought you down. So took your emotions from positive to negative. That's when something brings you down. Let me write that. So something brings you down. Something brings you down. The something takes you from positive to negative. And I'll put emotion because this really is about how you feel, your emotions. All right, let's continue on. The highlight of her university career so far was completing a 40-page thesis. So here we have again, 40-page, but this is functioning as an adjective. So we don't have an S. What if you took this information and you wrote it in a way that 40-page was not an adjective and it in fact had an S? How would you change this? So I might say she completed, that's our verb here. She completed a thesis that was 40 pages. 40 pages. Or simply you could say her thesis was 40 pages. her thesis was 40 pages long. Just like you would say, my book that you're reading, my book is 200 pages long. My book is 200 pages long. So in this case, this is not an adjective, it's a noun, so you add the S. The highlight, this is the most memorable, the most important part, the highlight of something. So here's a fun expression you can complete. The highlight of my last vacation was, and then you can share the highlight. But notice here, what do you have? Was, and then this is a verb in ing. So you might say was seeing, was meeting, was climbing. Maybe you climbed a mountain. Was eating. Was what? Was taking. So notice our verb in ing. So this is a fun expression. Finish that in the comments below, and I can't wait to hear what your highlight was of your last vacation. And if you haven't been on a vacation in a long time, you can change this to weekend. The highlight of my weekend was, so feel free to change that if vacation is not relevant to you. So highlight, most important or most memorable part. I'll write that for you. Most important, memorable. Important, memorable. And remember the structure, the highlight of, and then whatever it is, my last vacation. Let's continue. The highlight of her university career so far was completing a 40-page thesis on the relationship between handedness and functional activity in the cerebellum. The cerebellum is a part of your brain. I'll be honest, I don't know where the cerebellum is. It's somewhere. If you know where it is, you can share that in the comments. Or if you know what the cerebellum does, I'm not exactly sure because I am not a bioscientist like this 12-year-old is. But that's what she wrote her thesis on. Very advanced topic, isn't it? The paper concluded that connectivity between the brain and hand is significantly different for people who are right-handed versus those who are left-handed. That's very interesting because I am left-handed. You may not have known that about me, but I am left-handed. What about you? Are you right-handed or left-handed? Most likely you're right-handed. Most people are. But where are my fellow lefties out there? Share in the comments. And notice, I am right-handed. I am left-handed. I am right-handed. So that's what you can say. I am right-handed. I am left-handed. You can also say I'm a lefty. This is the casual way of saying left-handed. I'm a lefty. It's a very casual way of saying it. It's not slang. It's just casual. I'm a lefty. Or I guess you can say I'm a righty. I've never said that because I'm not a righty. I'm a lefty. I'm a righty. I'm a lefty. What about you? Are you a righty or a lefty? You can put that in the comments. All right. Right-handed and left-handed. When she's not researching or writing about the brain, Patricia Dennis is a very good violinist, her mom said. Wow, she's also a violinist. That's impressive. She also loves playing with her cats and binge watching TV shows. Binge watching. When you binge watch, it means you watch many episodes at one time. So you don't just watch one episode, you watch 10 episodes or 5 episodes. You binge watch. You watch many. Watch many. So do you ever binge watch my lessons instead of just watching one lesson and then you go do something else? Or do you sit here and watch again and another lesson and a different lesson and another lesson? Do you binge watch the lessons? That would be a compliment if you do, so let me know. And she's interested in continuing her research on functional activity in the cerebellum, somewhere in the brain. And notice here, to be interested in. This is such a common expression in English, but I still see so many mistakes with this from my advanced students. They either forget the fact that there's the verb to be with this expression, or they put interesting instead of interested, or they forget the preposition in. And if you have a verb that follows it, the verb needs to be an ing. So let's take a moment to practice this because it's such a common expression in English. To be interested in, and then you can have a noun or a gerund. You might say, what's something that you're interested in? Share that in the comments. I'm interested in finding out where the cerebellum is. I'm interested in learning more about the cerebellum. I'm going to say that. In learning more about the cerebellum. To be, this is my verb to be. Interested, always with ed. This does not change. In, and then because I have a verb, it's ing. Now, maybe this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was interested in learning more about the cerebellum because your verb to be is now in the past. But notice, nothing else changes. So take some time, share something that you're interested in the comments below because I see so many mistakes with this very common expression. Let's continue. I'll probably pick it back up when I have my own lab and I can get people to also do it with me because I'll be in charge, she said. Now, when you have quotations, you know it is a person talking and they're reporting that person's speech. So these are the words of our 12-year-old college graduate. I'll probably means 80% sure. Definitely is more 100%. I'll absolutely 100%. But probably is 80%. Maybe is 50%. So this is about 80%. 80% certain. I'll probably pick it back up. When you pick it back up, it means you continue doing something you previously did. Now, we generally use this for activities, sports, hobbies, and in this case, a research interest because she's talking about her research. I'll pick it back up, which implies she's not doing the research right now, but she's going to start doing it again. So when you continue doing something you previously did, so you do something, there's a break, you don't do it, and then you do it again, that's pick it back up, okay? So let's say, let me write this first. Start doing something again that you previously did. So let's say you played guitar or soccer, whatever you'd like, when you were 16, okay? 16 maybe to 18 years old. And then 18 to 22, no activities. You were focused on your school and you didn't do any activities other than your school. But then 22, you graduate. So 23, now you can say, I think I'll pick guitar back up again. Or I think I'll pick soccer back up again. Back up again. So you're just going to continue doing it. I'll probably pick it back up when I have my own lab. So what about you? Is there an activity you did? It could be a sport, it could be a hobby, maybe learning a language other than English as well. And then you did it for a while, you stopped, and now is there anything that you're considering picking back up, starting to do again? Share that in the comments as well. I'll probably pick it back up when I have my own lab and I can get people to also do it with me because I'll be in charge, she said. 12 years old and already wanting to be the boss. I like that. I'll be in charge. To be in charge means that you're in control, you're responsible. So you could say, I'm in charge of this project. So you're in control. It's your responsibility. And sometimes you might call a store because you had a bad experience, a bad customer experience, and you say, I want to talk to someone who's in charge. Who's in charge here? You want to talk to the manager, the person responsible. So you might say that. Who's in charge of this store or this project? And then someone might say, I'm in charge. How can I help you, sir? And hopefully there won't be too much of an issue. And that's the end of our article. Very inspiring to hear about a 12-year-old university graduate. So now what I'll do is I will go to the top and I'll read the article from start to finish. And this time you can focus on my pronunciation. A 12-year-old girl from Ottawa is making history as Canada's youngest ever university graduate. Athea Grace Patricia Dennis is not your typical 12-year-old. She's a child prodigy who's about to become the youngest Canadian to ever graduate from university, with a bachelor's degree in biomedical science. She started the program when she was 9, at a time when most of her peers were playing games at recess. Being a preteen in an intensive university program has come with a unique set of challenges. Patricia Dennis has dealt with preconceived notions and expectations from others about how she is going to look, talk, and act based on her age. My advice for people who are also young, gifted, smart, talented, don't let other people's expectations bring you down, she said. The highlight of her university career so far was completing a 40-page thesis on the relationship between handedness and functional activity in the cerebellum. The paper concluded that connectivity between the brain and hand is significantly different for people who are right-handed versus those who are left-handed. When she's not researching or writing about the brain, Patricia Dennis is a very good violinist, her mom said. She also loves playing with her cats and binge watching TV shows with her family. And she's interested in continuing her research on functional activity in the cerebellum. I'll probably pick it back up when I have my own lab, and I can get people to also do it with me because I'll be in charge, she said. Did you enjoy this lesson? If you did, put woohoo in the comments so I know you want me to make more lessons just like this. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently right from my website right here, or look for the link in the description. And why don't you get started with your next lesson right now?